Hey guys, it's me again, Dave, coming to you from the man cave. I just wanted to talk about something a little different from the music, the movies, and more, and it is another M word, another nasty M word, multiple sclerosis. I haven't done a video in a few weeks now, and secondary to a flare-up that I had, because I do myself suffer from what they call relapsing remitting MS. And I traveled home for Thanksgiving, which I live near Clemson, South Carolina, and I drove about 655 miles north of Pittsburgh to see my family for the Thanksgiving holiday. And just very busy, and unfortunately during that time I had a nasty flare-up. The reason I'm doing this video today is not to just bring attention to my MS, but in case there might be someone you know out there who might be coping with the same thing that I do. And it's a little hopefully cathartic for me to get it off my chest and talk about it, as it's been, well, the first flare-up occurred the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and it's now the 22nd, happy holidays by the way, of December, and I've just been feeling good now again for the last few days. So that in itself should give you a clue of what someone with MS, someone you may know, or someone you care about, or someone you even love, who's very close to you, maybe this will help you understand what they're going through. Now, there are different types of MS. Some is much more progressive than what I have. Mine is, like I said before, it's called relapsing remitting, where I take a medication to prevent the demyelination that occurs in my brain, hence creating multiple scars in my head. But other people aren't as fortunate as I am that have been diagnosed, and theirs is progressing much faster, and they lose cognitive abilities or physical abilities where they may not even be able to walk anymore. I guess if you're considering yourself lucky to get MS, it would be to get the kind that I have been diagnosed with. But just to give you a heads up on what people who have it cope with. There is sometimes, and again, as a term, a lot of these terms are terms that I've come up with over the past, well, I've been diagnosed now since July 24th of 18, and so it's been over a year that I've been diagnosed, but I've been coping with the symptoms for more than 5 years now. But it's quick to flare, and it's very slow to calm back down sometimes. Some people with MS have no outward symptoms. Sometimes it's all in our head, like my shirt says. I'll put a little picture up here of what my shirt actually says. It's a bunch of lists of symptoms in the shape of a brain, and it says, yes, it's all in my head, because it is. But the invisible symptoms that some of us face, and again, maybe someone you know face, of cognition. Sometimes we lose our speech, or at least for me, I'm speaking for me. Sometimes I get slurred speech. Sometimes I feel like I can't get out the words as fast as I'd like to say them. Sometimes I have poor recall of simple things, you know, and this only occurs during the flare-ups. And when you have MS too, you have this feeling of, when you're feeling good, you want to live life like balls out 100%. And then because you know there's that other mode that you go into that is survival mode. And that's where you just feel like for instance, one of my major symptoms is imbalance, to where I get what I call brain zaps, where it just feels like there's a little, like a disconnect between my ability to maintain balance, and like the neurons are trying to reconnect, and I get this brain zap, and it kind of throws me off balance. So I liken it to trying to stand on like a paddleboard that may be too small for you, but you try to stand in one place on a paddleboard in rough water all day long. And so, you know, fatigue can be a symptom of MS, but also too, coping with other symptoms that you're having often causes the fatigue that someone you know, or for myself again, that's what you deal with. So you work all day, or you're out with family or friends, for shopping or going out to eat or go to the movies, and you come home and you want to sit down and be alone and relax. And it's not that you are being antisocial, which I often get accused of, and I'll admit I am a bit of a loner, but it's you just don't want to be around somebody when you start to feel a flare-up. You just get tired and you want to be just left alone and find that quiet spot and try to get everything back together, because some people have vision issues. When I was at home for Thanksgiving, I went blind in my right eye completely. Scared the crap out of me. I thought I was having a stroke or something. And my wife recognized my symptoms as they were starting, and I didn't even. I thought I just hadn't eaten enough for that day. And my wife was the one who pointed out that there was just too much going on. In my mom's home, where we had a gathering on Saturday night after Thanksgiving, there was like 23 people there, friends and family that I hadn't seen in a long time, and it was just really busy, and people were in your face. And then it's when you have MS, sometimes that you get heightened senses, believe it or not, because there's all this like sensory input that just becomes way too much, and it sends you into a flare-up. When those happen, you can get, and again, everybody's different. I know I've been saying that a lot, but it's truly different. But I'm just trying to give you an idea of what it might be like for somebody you know and care about. But muscle spasms, painful muscle spasms, headache secondary to the muscle spasms, especially through your paraspinals of your neck and your back. And there's a lot of other things too that just seem like they're happening all at once. There's, again, and it may seem like I'm having cognitive issues right now, but the list is too long to mention because everybody's different. I mean, I've talked to in support groups, I've talked to people who have cognitive issues and pain issues and instability, like imbalance issues. I have some neuropathy, like where there's no feeling. I don't have feeling in these two fingers, but mainly to the outside of my left hand, which for me, then this channel is about music and how much I love it and sharing it with people. Was it's hard when you're having a flare-up and you can't play the instruments that you like, or if you like to sing and you can't talk, or you want to go out and see a band but you can't see. There's a lot of things that make you feel frustrated and like you just can't be yourself. And so I guess with all this, what I'm saying is that if you do know somebody that might be suffering with multiple sclerosis, especially around the holidays where everything's so busy, and that busy buzzing all the time can send people back, put them into a flare-up even when they're feeling well and taking medication. And like myself, I began a whole regiment change, once I was diagnosed. My wife and I started dieting, and when I say dieting, I mean eating a proper diet. And it's different for everybody. So if someone has MS and they seem like they're a little grumpy, or they're being a little anti-social this holiday season, just ask them, how are you feeling? You want to be left alone? Because that answer might be yes. They might need a little downtime to find themselves again and get back. Sometimes that's all it takes, is just a little time, maybe a certain medication depending on what they're coping with. Just support them, be there for them, let them know you love them. But anyway, that's my public service announcement for the holiday season. But I hope everyone's having a good time out there, and I apologize for it being such a big gap from my last video, but I just wanted to put this out there into the ether, and in case there's anyone out there who it may touch, but please feel free to through this through YouTube, if you want to talk or need some advice, talking to someone who may have it that and love, and just feel free to reach out to me. Anyways, alright guys, love y'all, nothing you can do about it. Peace, and have a very happy holiday. Bye bye.